Hello, welcome back to another video. Um, as you can see behind me here, we have the Pirate Raider. Now, it's an okay looking little ship. Bit flimsy looking in parts, but we'll get to that when I get down to do the tour of the two ships. But first of all, I want to thank everyone that's commenting and subscribing and liking the videos. It's well appreciated. As you know, a couple of videos back I mentioned that if and when I get to 500 subscribers, there's going to be a giveaway. I'm working on something at the moment for the giveaway, so I'll announce more about that as it gets closer to the 500. Let's try and do it before Christmas. It's not long left, lads. Come on, help an Irishman out. But anyway, if you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up. If you have something to say, comment. And if you want to see more, just hit the subscribe and the bell icon, and I'll try my best to improve on my video making. But I put a poll up there last week asking what viewers would like to see from the channel. Did you want to see more refits, or would you like to see a survival series, either solo or with my faction mates that's on the server with us, on our own server, the Nightfall server. A few people have taken the poll. Everyone else is welcome to do it. It's in the community section on my page. But anyway, let's stop waffling and we'll get on with the video. Right, so here we have the Pirate Raider. You know, it's all light armor, so it's not that difficult to defeat. There's I think there's 3 Gatling guns and 2 rocket launchers on this. But the one thing about this as well, this has a sensor on it as well, and when you enter the ship, or if you get close enough to the ship, it fires the thrusters and flies off in the direction it's facing. And if you're in a ship and you try to catch up to it, you're not going to catch it if it's reaching 100 meters a second. Well, you're not going to catch it if you're flying directly behind it, because what the ship also does is, as it's flying away from you, it turns on this gyroscope, and this gyroscope is set to make the ship constantly turn to the right slightly. So what the ship ends up doing is, if you basically were to stay here, the ship will continue going in a circle and then back in the same spot. But if you do find yourself chasing it, because that'll take a while to do for it to come back around you, if you do find yourself chasing this ship, don't fly directly at it. If you're, well, in your suit, you're going to catch up to it. But if you're in another ship, a large grid ship, you're not going to catch it. So what you do, instead of flying after it like this, straight behind it, fly off to the side and fly that way. Because by the time you get out a certain distance, you're going to be catching up on him, because he's turning to the right all the time. So you'll catch up on the ship. I know, because I've done it. But here we go, let's take a look at the ship. There's 2 solar panels on it either side there. Again, 2 weak points with the thrusters on it, so not very good. There's your remote control for capturing the ship there, out in the open up on top of the ship. So ground has a decent amount of thrusters on it. There's 4 thrusters left and right, and I think there's 6 thrusters facing forward, and there's about 6 thrusters facing backwards, so it's equal with the thrust forward and reverse. The one thing I really dislike about the ship is right at the back here. I'm going to turn my hood on there so you can see what I'm doing. It's extremely flat right at the back there, and it's not nice. And the other thing I don't like is this section here. Like a couple of rounds from your Gatling gun will separate this thruster pack in no time. It's literally held down with a half ground down blocks and a catwalk, and that's it. You know, so now there's no greeble, no detail or anything to the back here. It's just flat and sharp edges on a. If you have one solitary oxygen farm there on the back as well. There's your rocket turrets We'll come down to the front here. The cockpit or the bridge is sunk into the ship here, nice and deep. Again with the ground down window blocks. I think they're the ground down window vent blocks. I think I've never checked that. Where's my welder? There's there. Yeah, the diagonal windows. They're the diagonal slatted windows, and there's a lot of wheel blocks on it, fully welded up for detail. Now, this ship also has a large hydrogen tank in it, but it doesn't have any hydrogen thrusters. So, providing that tank is full when you capture this ship, you're getting yourself a decent amount of hydrogen for free. Well, for the price of a few bullets and a couple of respawns, because you're not really taking this ship in one go. You're making multiple attempts to take this ship. So we have the doors, sliding doors on the side there as armor, because as we all know, grinding through the doors to get into a ship or a base takes forever. I don't know why the unclaimed blocks keeps coming up on this, because I own the grid, so that's annoying me. So as we've an hour and 25 minutes to make this video, but we'll come inside here into the main body of the ship, and everything is open except for that back area there. We have a door there, we'll get to that in a minute, but everything is open plan here. You have 2 desks, lockers, a kitchen. You know, in this area here we've more lockers, just lockers galore on the ship, more desks with seats in them. We've a console block and your flight seat there. You know, nothing major in the ship, pretty open plan. And we come back here, is your air vent is up in the middle of the floor with the desk on either side of it, and in the back here we have 2 armories. There's one at each window there. So we head to the back here. This is like more lockers, sleeping quarters, like two beds, desks, and an armory and a toilet. And that's basically the inside of the ship. You know, I mean, it's nothing major. I mean, if you want to just capture the ship, grind it down, you have plenty of resources on it, like, you know. And like I said, providing the tank is full, you have a hydrogen tank. Now, this ship is only powered by 4 batteries as well. And so I'll go back inside. The 4 batteries are located in the back of the ship here, right here on the floor, to your other side. So it's pretty underpowered. Like, if you take this ship and fly it at full speed, then, you know what I mean, your power consumption goes right up into the red. So it's not very efficient for a ship of its size. There's not much power on it. So we'll head over to the ship that I done, the Refit, and we'll have a look at it. Now, as you can see coming up, I'm at the changing the armor on it. Well, changing the armor, I changed the texture, so I went with the battered armor. You know what I mean? So let's take a look. Right. As you can see, the first thing I changed here is the antenna. I changed to the compact antenna. We have one of the cylindrical pillars. What are they called? Cylindrical columns on the back of it, just for that little bit of detail to make the compact antenna stand out a little bit further. Then up above that, I'm after replacing the beacon with the round beacon, because I love this block. It's so much cleaner looking than the standard beacon. And on the back of that, I'm at the pairing it up with the action relay, just for aesthetics. The action relay is not hooked up to anything. It's just to give the beacon a little bit more volume. And I've changed out all the pillars to the truss blocks, the truss pillars, because they actually look much nicer. You know what I mean? They've that little bit more detail with the webbing in them. And what I'm after doing on the ship as well, I've removed every single bit of armor that was the blast door blocks and replaced them all with the cylindrical columns. And as you can see, I've changed all the inside lights, all the lights to the inset light for two reasons. One, it allows you to place something else in the ship in that spot, and the second reason is it gives you a bit of greeble on the outside of the ship, you know, with the back of the block. So just adds something else on the ship to look at rather than just your standard blocks. Now the second antenna I decided to change to the parabolic antenna, but instead of having a static, I just have a setup on a rotor, just rocking left to right, scanning, and that's all it's doing. That's set up with I'm at putting a new timer in the ship, and all the timer's doing is reversing that rotor every time it reaches a certain distance. It just keeps reversing it. Now I decided not to change out any of the guns. I left the original Gatling guns on the ship. Right, so we're going to move on down here, and we've changed out the solar panel to these the slope panels, just to give it a bit of a swept wing look. When you're looking at them from up above or down below, it's making it look like the wings are swept back. And like the other ship over there, rather than having the thruster sitting on top of the solar panel, I decided to actually connect them straight to the edge of it, which makes more of the solar panel be able to face the sun and get a bit of energy from it. But we kept the design basically the same, just dropped it out one block and down a block. Oh sorry, wrong button. So we've also changed all the thrusters out to the warfare thrusters, all the way all around. So if we come down here, all the pipe work, all the conveyor tubes have been changed to conveyor pipes, because I just think the conveyor pipes look much nicer when they're exposed on the ship. Like if you want to run pipe work in your ship and it's not going to be exposed, go ahead with the tubes. I would, with the tubes, because you're never going to see them. Like, it costs the same to make a conveyor tube as it does to make a conveyor pipe. There's the same materials. It makes no difference. But if you're going to be seeing the pipes on the outside, I'd rather go with these ones here. I think they look nicer. So again, on the other ship there we had blaster blocks here, so I've changed that out to the cylindrical columns. There's a little bit more detail in those blocks, and an added bonus on with these blocks as well is you can actually add stuff onto them. So if I was to, like, say, take one of these access panels, I can actually fit that onto that. Now you're not going to do that because that looks shit, but you have mounting points on all all 6 sides of these blocks. So to come in here, what I've actually done is I left the hydrogen tank in, but I'm adding a small reactor to give the ship a little bit of extra power, because it needs it. I've changed out all the spotlights on the front here to the floodlights. I also added a cylindrical column here just to fill it out, to bring the spotlight, the floodlight out to where the spotlight would have been. So that's just a bit of a aesthetic, just for visuals. So we come along here and we look at the side here, which changed out the normal windows to the dome. Is it the dome? Is it the bay? Yeah, the bay window dome. I'd love to know who named these blocks in the last update, because they sound like Yoda named them, with bay window dome and tall small gate and stuff like that. But right, we'll come in here, and again I've taken away all the tires and replaced them with the cylindrical columns. Truss box coming out, but on the end of the truss box, instead of putting a standard light, I'm at putting the truss light on the end of them. Just again for detail, and plus it makes sense to have a truss light on the end of a truss, hence the name, truss light. So what I decided to do here was take away the 2 doors, and I replaced them with the windows here that were brought in the Detective Pack 2 DLC. Just again for visuals, you know, I know the doors are there to make it harder to grind into the ship, but the ship is light armor, so I mean you're still going to grind through through the blocks here. Like for example, like straight over here, it's literally 2 of these blocks and you're through the ship, so you're into the ship. So it defeats the purpose in having the doors over the windows to make it harder to grind into the ship when the whole ship is made of light armor. Right, so we're coming down the back here, and what I've done here is I've done a little bit of reshaping here. I took the squareness out of it, so add a little bit of slope work in there just for detail with the green again, the grey. And I've done away with the flimsy thruster packs on the back here and replaced them with the beam blocks. Just make things look a bit more structural and stronger. I've changed. I didn't really change much of these. I just added a slope here on the front of the fins there on the back, just again for detail. And the back here now, I've added a bit of greeble. Put some pipe works in top and bottom, and added a scaffold block there on the top of the oxygen farm, just to make it look like it's holding it in place, you know. And I sloped the top and bottom of this up here, just to take that square flat look that was on it away. Like, again, all the ground down window blocks I've replaced with scaffold frames. You know, I think the scaffold frames are a nice block. They can give you that little bit of detail in the ship. Even though it's not structural, it looks structural. So it's just nice details to have. Right, now we're going to come down here. We're going to take it toward the inside of the ship. So as you can see, I've taken away the sliding doors and put in the sliding hatch doors. So I go in and I made them a 1 block airlock, because when you open the door, you're venting the whole ship. So let's go inside, and straight away you can see a big difference. We have a doorway here. We'll get into there now in a minute. Oh, here we have a console block with a blueprint of the ship there, just showing. So I changed it out to a weapons rack and an armory on the left hand side of the ship, and a weapons rack and a locker on the right hand side of the ship. Just give a little bit of versatility and a bit of difference, so things don't look like it was built in mirror mode. As you can see, there's no gravity generator in the middle of the floor anymore, and the reason for that is it's right here. There's the gravity generators there, is in the floor. So it gives us a little bit more floor space here. But literally, I took away the desks that was on the other side here, because they literally do nothing, they're just taking up space. So on the left hand side we have one of the console blocks, the console module LCD. By the time this is on the put into the mod, there will be details and stuff on all these screens. I don't like leaving the blue screens, I have to have something on them. And on the right hand side I put a captain's desk. Now we come to here, we've more of those console modules here. Now, as you know, on the other ship there was a button panel here in front of the console block. So what I've done is I've actually put the button panel here. Now the button panel wasn't set up to do anything, and neither is this one. So it's just to keeping the functionality of the old ship with the new ship with the button block. So we left the 2 lockers on this side, on this end of the ship. But in front of these 2 windows here, it looked a bit bare. So I originally put a desk in front of it, but it didn't look right. One of my faction members sort of pointed out, because that doesn't look right, and I sort of agreed with him, because I was thinking it wasn't looking right myself. And then I just said, well, I'll try a helm, and the helm looks easier, it makes more sense. You know, if you want, you can have this helm hooked up to that Gatling down there. You could have this helm hooked up to that Gatling down there, and you can have 2 crew members controlling those Gatling guns. You know, so. And we changed out the flight seat to the control seat here in front, because I just think it's a much better looking block for the bridges and and cockpits and ships. And we have the bridge windows, the sloped bridge windows in here. Now, I decided not to put a second set of windows in, because there's really no point. Like I said, it's a light armored ship, and having a second set of windows is not going to give any added value in armor, so there's no point in doing it. So we'll take a look in the back of the ship here. We'll open this door. You can see the original air vent is still in the same. It has been moved from basically here, and I put it back there. But I put a second air vent in here because these two sections of the ship are closed off with blast doors, or sorry, hatch doors. So we come in here, right, and what we have in this area is a slight bit of a mess hall. So you have your sink and your cooker and your dining area there. We have a bit of a leisure area here with the fish tank and the console block and the couches. But we also have two bunks, the beds other side of the door. So this is like a crew sleeping / recreation / mess hall area. And the back here we have the captain's quarters. We have your bed, army, toilet, and captain's desk. We have two lockers. Now, where's the batteries, you're saying? Or probably not, but the batteries were on the floor here. So again, my faction member made the point that they didn't look right, which I agreed with, but I wasn't too sure where to put them. So he just said to me, just put them underneath the walls. So the batteries for the ship are underneath these 4 blocks here. There's 2 under there, and there's 2 under there, and that's where the batteries are. Now I like adding these. This is the side of the pipe block, the pipe work block. I like adding them in because it gives you that bit of detail of pipe work running under the floor. It's good to put them in areas where it's running from something or to something. Like you have it coming out of a cargo container there, so you can envision that being power or materials transferred through those pipe work. And I've done the same thing on this side here. It's running in to the fish tank area, and over here it's running into the kitchen. So it could be given the illusion of conduits, power conduits running under the floors, like. And that's the great thing about a lot of the new blocks that were added into the game and the DLCs, is that every side of them has a different detail on them. So you don't just have to use the tops of the wall blocks like these ones here. These are the Sparks of the Future walls. So you don't have to just use them for flooring. You can use these for flooring. Or you can use the sides of the which blocks are they? Have I got them in the ship? Yeah, you can use the backs of these blocks as well for flooring. There's details on the back of these blocks as well. So you don't have to use a wall block for a wall or a floor. You can use any block, but anything that looks better than just straightforward armor. You know. So that's this video done. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Like I said, if you want to see more, subscribe. And if you have something to say, just comment. Now, we're back next week with a new video. We'll keep going with the encounter ships. And then if people more, there's me slagging you, talking about Yoda. But if more people vote on the poll or they put up, we'll see about starting up some sort of survival series. But if you still want to see a survival series or some sort of weekly series besides the refits, throw me some ideas in the comments and let me know what you would like to see or what you like viewing, and we'll see what we can do. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.